when the idea was first floated by Jimmy Dore, and it's gotten a lot of attention for him, and I'm
which by design, So.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He's got to pay for that house somehow.
I don't know if it's necessarily by design as much as it is like sort of the same way that Trump works. It's just sort of like he has some psychological things that sort of drive him in this fashion, and then it does
to fixate on one particular point. And if you don't do this exact thing that I say, you're not pure enough, like me, the one who berates every.
But what level of absurdity is it for this conversation to have been about this one guy? Like it's pretty pathetic of a statement of the left that Jimmy Dore is the hill they're going to die on up against the squad. To me, that's a level of absurdity that is so destructive to the left. Like, come on, folks.
I've been encouraged to see, and there are some people who I respect who have not, denounced a lot of this childish fixation on one particular vote, which I think, now that I've thought about it, could be more counterproductive. A caller the other day pointed out how Mitch McConnell really wanted us to bring Medicare for All or Mitch McConnell wanted Bernie Sanders' vote on Medicare for All, which hadn't happened after he had all those co-sponsors, basically because he knew it would fail. So he could rub it in the faces of the Democrats and then set it back. I mean, I'm not fully opposed to a vote on Medicare for All, but it's 25th down the list of priorities, if at all a priority, because we need more members before we can actually gain momentum on that topic. There's so many more important things.
There was value in the idea of leveraging that vote. And the problem was, and when I first heard this idea, that's my feeling was like, there's value in leveraging the vote. I don't know if the Medicare for All vote is necessarily the vote, the thing to go for. I think at the time I said maybe it's committee things. Wanted to take a little bit of
minimum wage, which
take a little
more members agree on.
Yeah, I mean, take a little time, look into it, and then you get a response from at least one of the key figures that you want to pressure, and they say, committee seats might be better, and instead of like engaging with that and saying, okay, you're on one part of you're on the inside, we're on the outside, you have a better sense of like how things work there.
Yeah.
And what might actually bring material benefits to people.
Well, that would require an ounce of humility.
Well, but it's not just, look, it's not just Jimmy. I mean, people have to take responsibility. If you're listening there and, some lush is just sitting there basically yelling F you into the microphone is where you get your political wisdom from. A guy who doesn't even know the difference between a filibuster or is sitting there happy to have Peter Thiel be on the Supreme Court. You've got to educate yourself. And honestly, like, it's not just like, all he has is a microphone. He has no more or less than what we have. It's just that some of the members of his audience are just sitting there.
Oh, but he does have something that we have, and he's lacking something that we have. We all know that at the core of this, honestly, and I'm not going to go into the new YouTube number games, but I do believe that he has the insight that anger is lucrative. And we all know that anger is lucrative. Every one of us who do this know that if we rile up the progressive base and just tell you what makes you angry, we can buy a house. Right? That said, we don't do that, right? I think each and every one of us know that if we kept Donald Trump in office, all of our bottom lines would probably be amazing going forward. But we were never going to sacrifice our integrity and leave Donald Trump in office just because it's financially good for us. And similarly, I would never attack the people who are closest to accomplishing something that we really want simply because, in my best estimation, there's a financial motive. That's just my estimation, and I don't ascribe that to Sam or the Majority Report.
I also... Go on, Sam.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a financial motivation. I think it hurts. I mean, it helps when the cash comes rolling in. That's one thing you don't question, really. But I think it's just a question of like nihilism. I think it's just really, in the same way that, like, I don't know, is Alex Jones exclusively about money? No. You'd have to be. You'd have to be attention. I think he has like emotional issues that Alex Jones does. I think he's nuts. And I think, And so I think, and he thinks he's right, and so he'll make up stuff, and he won't read stuff, and he'll just get his information from wherever.
So you think Jimmy really believes what he says? Then you think he's like a true believer in his own rhetoric?
I think that Jimmy believes that that everything is garbage, and that I don't think he was ever. I don't think he actually believes in trying to get. I think his agenda is to just destroy the Democratic Party and to and it pays. And his cynicism pays. I think that's his agenda. I don't think his agenda, I will tell you this, I don't think he gives a shit about.
That's true.
Yeah, there's also a TMZ element to it too, right? Where it's basically personality focused. And it's often, I keep saying this, but it's often like female politicians or politicians of color too. I mean, the fact that he went after Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman for no reason, and Ocasio Cortez and whatever, like, Tulsi Gabbard never held to account. I understand it's not a one size fits all for that, but those are the directions of his ire in many senses.
But listen, make no mistake about it. If Tulsi Gabbard said, like, I'm not coming on your show for whatever reason because she's, tacked too far to the right or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden he would launch at her. I mean, that's what
triggered it. Yeah,
triggered all this stuff.
Yeah,
is that Bernie Sanders wouldn't come on a show, whatever it is, and so
and you don't have to read anything, and you don't actually have to be good at politics, like. Actually understand things. You can just be like they took the justifiable outrage of the 2016 presidential campaign and the bias against Bernie Sanders, and people went in different directions, right? Like, Ben, your show went in a direction, or not different, but covered it in the way that you thought you were going to cover it,
right?
And there was a branch of the left online, or whatever that is, that made it about how the Democratic Party is beyond repair. And everyone that becomes a part of the Democratic Party is corrupt and, beholden to Nancy Pelosi. And then when AOC said Mama Bear and called her that, well, that was Dore's opening to say, see, she's just like them. She's on the cover of Vanity Fair, so that must mean that she's actually a terrible person and not fighting for the same things. He literally said, she's standing in the way of your health care. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. That's what
Wait. Jimmy Dore actually said that? I didn't see that part.
Actually, you know what? We got here. Let's play the clip.
Yeah, well, sure. I'll send it to.
No, we have it. I think.
Oh, you have it already. This is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of determined not to get into it, but yeah, here it is. This
report came out against you. Kyle Kalinske just turned on you. AOC, did you see that video?
Kyle Kalinske just turned on.
Guess who else? Crystal Ball. Guess who else? Jimmy Dore. Guess who else? Medea Benjamin. Cornel. Everybody sees
Cornel
through
West
you.
Did not try to turn
Everybody sees through you, except your fucking sycophant DSA dickheads in fucking Brooklyn.
Jimmy,
we see through you. Even my detractors see through you. That's right.
I don't know about that. Look at, like, this is not
healthy.
It's online nonsense. Like, yeah, okay. Look, I think Kyle's done good work. Do I think AOC watched his video and is aware that Kyle turned on her? I think she has worried about.
But I personally don't care if Kyle turned on him or her, because this is wrong. They're wrong.
They're wrong.
They're just patently wrong, because the strategery, because that's all it is. It's not a strategy. It's strategery at this point is dead after step 2. And you never win a checkers game, let alone a chess game, let alone life, with 2 steps. The thing here, though, the thing that really, really bothers me is that he's going all the way in on this. He is trying to dethrone. Yeah. This really, at the core of this, is a faction of the left that's trying to dethrone the progressive faction that actually got traction and power. My question is Jimmy, why don't you ask your the official that you helped get elected? Like, who's your representative? Why are you going all the way across the continent of the country to New York and putting pressure on a first-term congresswoman who just amassed enough power for us to primary other people? You're asking her to sacrifice that. What about all the other people? Why all this energy for progressives when your strategy itself is never going to yield results? It's like we're in a circle of firing squad, And at the end of it, nobody gets anything except for neoliberalism and trickle-down capitalism.
Is there more
posted
video?
a picture once on a magazine with someone Jimmy didn't like. I mean, the it gets more abusive. I don't want to even, it gets worse, but.
Should we play any more of it?
Play the rest. I think it's.
Oh, y'all gonna make me cuss on it.
But he sees through the squad now. And why AOC? I'm telling, they're pushing her out there because she's the most sympathetic. And so idiots can say, stop attacking her when she is standing between you and healthcare and protecting Nancy Pelosi and her career.
Excuse me, guys. Can I respond to that real quick?
Yeah,
Are we off of like whatever? What's the rating right now? Is it rated R? Can we cuss?
Yeah, you can cuss.
Yeah,
Fuck Jimmy Dore. This stuff is sociopathy. What he is doing is cashing in on your anger, but he's cashing in with a strategy that's going to leave you without Medicare for all. He is literally at this point, COINTELPRO for me. He is a Fed at this point because he is coming in to neutralize the only power that progressives really have. And if you and your, and I'm going to do my best not to insult the people who support his idea. It's in my blood to insult you, but I'm not going to, because you really, really need to understand that what he is doing is manipulating you for cash. And much more importantly than him is the fact that he is scullying our chance to get Medicare for all in the next 4 years. He's going to make us kill it right now. That's what he's doing. He's a Fed.
I got news for everybody. There's not going to be Medicare for all in 4 years. That's not happening. This is a 10
chimera.
It's a 10 to 12 year project. And I got news for everybody. It just got set back by probably more than the 4 years that we just spent with Donald Trump.
Because that's the spokesperson.
This was the whole, well, it's not even just that. It's just like, look, people like there are extraordinary forces aligned against it.
Yeah.
Instead of having 4 years of slow frustration build under a Clinton administration who is trying out, to expand healthcare in various waves, maybe at that point have taken it to 55, a buy-in on Medicare. Instead, you are now working from a point of like people just knowing like we could easily go from the frying pan into the fire. Like
right.
That's the way that politics work. And you can go back and people can go look at Jimmy's, vision of where we would be today.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren is the president and the Republican Party having, refused to go along with anything that Donald Trump wanted and all this, and know that the guy has no idea what he's talking about. And here's the thing. It is one thing to pressure the people who are closest to you and to allow them to use that pressure to leverage other things. But you need to do it in coordination with them. You need to do it, not necessarily coordination, but you need to do it like with some awareness of what they can and cannot do. If I take a hammer or if I take this, and try and use it as a hammer, it's just going to break and I'm not going to have the remote control anymore. Right.
Yeah.
You need to know if you're using something to do something else, you need to know.
But when you're focused on personalities and it's just about, stick it to Pelosi or stick it to the establishment, you have no awareness of movement building and how long it takes for these organizations to work together to
We're not going to get with 5 conservative Democrats, corporate Democrats now on that
it's it.
Commerce. Yeah. I got news for you.
It's a wrap.
There's not going to be any movement.
And instead of the left supporting her, right? And instead of the left or this faction, this whatever 8% of the online left supporting her, she's being shivved from that side and shivved from the other. And then what do you not on?
Well, I mean, and then also think about this. Let me ask everyone who thinks Jimmy Dore is first of all, Jimmy Dore should never have gotten back in this conversation. Jimmy Dore, let him make his millions. Go to the south of France. Go ahead and get your clicks, but never, ever allow that man to be in the conversation about true progressivism.
I got to say, I take a certain amount of responsibility for being, I thought it was being charitable, but it was just dumb. Like, frankly, if I thought there was any value in the idea that I should have just brought it up completely,
Well, I mean, Ocasio
separate
Cortez responded. So.
of him raising it, because the guy is incredibly toxic. I figured, 4 years later, cut him a little bit of slack, and that was stupid. It was stupid on my part. It was stupid.
I want to ask everybody this question, though. Everybody who still believes in Jimmy Dore, once the squad is gone and Jimmy Dore gets his way, who you going to pressure?
Right.
Who are you going to pressure? Who's going to listen to you?
Can we just finish?
Morons.
So we can just wrap it up, or wrap it in a bow.
Was there any more of that clip left?
Just because I think it's important to see how he gets himself riled up. It's psychotic.
Standing between you and healthcare and protecting Nancy Pelosi and her career.
Talk about career.
Key organizing moments may look like random uprisings and viral internet moments to some, but they aren't. They are the results of years of targeting, organizing, and people's movements. This took 2 weeks.
What did?
This took 2 weeks.
Period. Hold on.
This took 2 weeks.
1 second. Okay, so Jimmy doesn't understand what she's saying here.
He doesn't.
Right? I mean, just like how
he's so stupid. It's unbelievable.
I know.
She is suggesting that actual change takes building on the ground and building a foundation. You see it pop up and it looks like it's just there for a moment, but it's actually been building for years. Jimmy thinks that
he got it done in 2 weeks.
It only look at what I've been able to achieve in 2 weeks.
What did you achieve?
Nothing. He got a story in Business Insider and he added some subscriptions and he made some money.
That's it.
That's politics, though, from what I hear from Jimmy's show.
But that's the thing. He doesn't
exactly
in the tweet that she's writing.
Yeah, and then he gets something wrong here too.
Go back and listen to how this stuff is just remedial, right? Apparently, can do is read a real estate listing.
Key organizing moments may look like random uprisings and viral internet moments to some, but they aren't. They are the results of years of targeting, organizing, and people's movements. This took 2 weeks. This took 2 weeks. This took 2 weeks. From someone who already went bankrupt from medical bills. It took 2 weeks. How long you been fucking working on this?
Oh my God. Yeah, I
figured this out in 2 weeks, AOC. You liar, you coward, you gaslighter, you standing in the way of people in healthcare. You run on healthcare and then you deny it to us. You dangle it in front of your fucking constituents. And then when you get there, you don't lift up.
Why are y'all doing this to me? I think y'all want me to snap on this motherfucker. Damn. Jimmy Dore, listen. I just got to say this. This has nothing to do with anybody on this show. But Jimmy Dore, you know where to find me, dude. You know where to find me because you ain't suffered nothing, man. You just bought a $2 million house. You bought a house that is probably 10 times the value of what AOC makes in a year. And you're attacking her like you have some moral standing. You are nothing. Let me stop before you never invite me back.
I mean, that might be the same video where he claimed that she voted for the CARES Act. There's no evidence of that. She said that she didn't. You don't need to take her at her word for it, but she was speaking out publicly against it. And then I'm hearing there was a man's voice that said no. But she could have just not voted for it in general, but it doesn't even matter.
She's speaking against it. She's speaking against it.
Right.
If that's the point, is that it's that's the cost. There's no cost.
That's not what that clip is. In my opinion, that's not what that clip is about. That clip is about, holy shit, I hit a gold mine. Yeah. I've struck gold. And if I just keep talking about this, I'm going to keep getting 200,000 views per video. And my bank is going to keep going up. My patrons are going to go up and up. And my notoriety is going to go up and up. And so maybe I won't have to settle for a measly peasly $1.9 million house in LA. And I can go ahead and get me the $5 million one I've been coveting. I'm sorry. This man is destroying the entirety of the progressive movement because leftists are angry and you all are allowing yourselves to be taken to the bank by this clown.
There's no pool, though. And that's
the problem. That's why he's doing it. He's got to get a pool. He's got to get a pool.
You're going to be out in LA. You got to get a pool.
You got to have a goddamn pool, man. What kind of ragtag shanty are you living in, Jimmy Dore? 1.9 million with no pool? Come on, man.
Listen, we're not I mean, we're going to talk about this later a little bit, but I'm not doing my normal year-end roundup type of thing this year. Like, I just hated this year so bad that I just don't. But
Yeah.
Let me just say this, since this is the last time we're going to see you in 2020. Thank you for your coming onto the show on a regular basis. Your contribution has been incredibly appreciated. I love the work that you do.
Thanks, man.
And I hope that you have
Emma.
years and that 2021 is an upgrade.
I like
over
you even
2020.
more than Sam. So
You guys, I'm trying to get back. I like Sam more than everybody else because I want to be invited back. No, I know. I appreciate you, Emma. Appreciate all of you. Listen, shout out and solidarity and love to the entire Majority Report family and to all of us who know what we're feeling right now, but there's no need for us to even say it. We love all of you, and I definitely love all of the Majority Report and the entire family.
All right, Ben. Good luck. We'll talk to you soon, folks.
Take care.
Check out
All
the
right.
Benjamin Dixon Show. All right, and we're going to head into the fun half of the program. Like I literally started the day off. I was like, we're not going to talk about Jim.
I know, and we did it anyway.
I know.
But maybe we'll just say not next week.
But it's not like we didn't cover a bunch of other stuff.
We did. We're respectable news people. We covered Congress.
I mean, I'm not necessarily convinced of
stimulus.
the respectable news people, but we covered other stuff.
No, we are respectable news people.